Okay.
So quickly, can you present us who you are, what you are doing in the company?
Okay, I'm Hiten Shah. I'm the CEO and co-founder of KissMetrics, and we do analytics stuff, help people make better decisions for their customers.
So now, what about KissMetrics? You told us a bit earlier that you have ability to do different kind of metrics, different kind of new ways of looking at analytics. So can you describe us what's going on over there and what's the innovation?
Yeah, so we actually track your customers. So we track people coming to your website or your mobile app or your Facebook application. It can show you the number of people that are doing different things and can drill down to individual person's data. So
this is your motto. You are not tracking clicks, you are not tracking page rates, you are really tracking people. Users and peoples. Can you tell us a bit more about this specific topic?
Sure. Most analytic solutions track unique visitors, or they track events, but they don't actually track the number of people that did something. And if they do track that, it's usually unique, so it's not very accurate. So we went through great lengths to make sure it's very accurate and down to individual people.
So can you tell us briefly about the history of the company? So it's not your first company.
Sure.
And you are already going on with this third or second or third one?
Third company.
Just for the quick history?
Yeah, sure. So the first company was a consulting company. Second company was a web app that was another analytics app called Crazy Egg. It's still running. And this is the third company, KissMetrics.
Last question. So you told us during our discussion that you moved here to San Francisco because, of course, your customers, your valuable customers, were here. So you moved here because they were there and not only because it's the Silicon Valley?
Yeah, so I moved here about 3.5 years ago, and one of the primary reasons is that the early adopters, the people that were innovating around analytics and data for their customers and to understand their customers better, were all around here, majority of them back then. And so that's why we moved here, and it's been very valuable.
So in the same area, if your customers were not in the Silicon area, but in another place in the United States, would have been, you should have been inclined to do the same thing, like getting to where they are, or thinking like, no, it's still better to go to the valley?
I think it depends on the product and the market. In our market, ironically, the value is where it's at. There's all kinds of other reasons to be here, as everybody knows. But I don't think you always need to be right next to your customer. In our case, it made a lot of sense because we were trying to innovate on something that was considered already done at the time. Like analytics was already, there were already solutions out there. And so it was much easier here to find people that agreed with us that the current solutions are not that valuable.
So to conclude, just a last point on the, let's say, usability of the technology, which you mentioned during the meeting that it's not really important anymore to say we are in beta, we are in alpha and so on, because that gives a false impression of bad quality product. So you just told us that you really entered the market where the product was ready, which was done quite quickly.
No. All I was saying is, even if you're in beta or you think you are, you should call it early access, not beta. Okay. That's all I was saying. Which means that it implies that people are getting early access to it and it's special, versus beta, which usually implies buggy. But just like everything else, you need to test that for your market and see if they like early access better than beta.
Because this is an important shift, because since the early stage of the Web 2.0, where everything was about perpetuous beta or perpetuous alpha, you really think it's really important for a company starting some new thing, like using that new keyword in order to become more professional and not only hype?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's where we're at, because I think people are worn out of beta.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I wish you best of luck.
Yeah, thanks.